Well, hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with my city book. It's a bit damp. I actually just run outside, okay? And it's chucking down a storm today. It's the 14th today, by the way. Anyway, so another Christmas book. Yep, I know. Here we go. A Christmas to Remember. Oh, it's called What Happens at Christmas by Evonne Wareham. Okay, it's a chocolate novel. Okay, Laurie France and her 4-year-old niece Misty are settling in to spend the holidays in Wales after unexpected events leave them without a place to stay. Best-selling author Andrew Victorous knows that any publicity is good publicity. His agent tells him that often, so must be true. And one up to Christmas, she excels herself, talking him into getting into the craziest scheme yet. Getting himself kidnapped live on TV. Who do they know they're about to make a discovery explains a Christmas they're not lucky to forget. So, yeah, so a crime author gets unexpectedly kidnapped during an event for publicity, which sounds okay, fine, okay. Right, so Laurie French, here we go. So essentially, Laurie French has been dumped with her niece Misty because her horrible sister is just a horrible person, and she literally abandons the kid with her over Christmas. Okay, and Laurie's in like a dilapidated house and needs some work. Her actual house has got some issues. Her family used to have this big manor house, but they all kind of left it and, you know, recouped and elsewhere. Okay, and then she meets, this is her sister, Lark. There you go. Laura took a good look at her younger sister. There were fees between them. Despite the immaculate applied makeup and no doubt phenomenally expensive skincare products applied with religious zeal, Lark's currency as a fresh-faced beauty might be starting to slide just a fraction. There were tiny expression lines at the corners of her eyes, and no doubt magnified to monumental proportions in her sister's mind. For Lark, the fact that she was an excellent actress with an Oscar nomination to her credit was enough to make up for that. In Lark's mind, her face was her fortune. Yeah, but it even opens up okay with them not even know how Misty is. Misty, this is like a 4-year-old kid. Yeah. So, essentially, Andrew is called Drew quite a lot in this novel. He is kidnapped, but it turns out to be legit kidnapping. He's literally chained up in a shed in the middle of nowhere. And then Misty and Laurie are literally walking, singing Christmas songs, and they stumble across him. So they take him in. He's there for a couple of days. He's in a bit of a bad state. He needs to sort himself out. There's no communication to cut from the world. And together have this magical Christmas. Okay? And they almost have sex. They almost have sex. Okay? They almost. Okay? This bit here. This bit here. Okay. Drew rubbed his hands through his hair and down over his face, a stubble, which was further becoming a beard, was itching again. Weariness was pressing on his shoulders. He sat on the edge of the bed yawning. They settled the house for the night, and Laurie had gone to her room with her head down, barely looking at him. His skin felt red raw in a way that had nothing to do with the beard and the bloody fingernails exposed. They sat in the dark and watched the stars like lovers. He'd felt close to Laurie, then in the darkness. Then he had two women who shared his bed. It felt wonderfully, scarily right. Yeah, so they connect. They connect. They're both basically two lost souls. Laurie wants to be a children's writer, and I didn't know you could do this because she's written something and she emails it to an agent. I didn't know you could email to agents. I thought you had to send them a copy of the book because someone elaborated that on me. Well, never says okay, but the writing process. They never say the words I email an agent. They always say I sent it off to an agent and it got picked out. So anyway, so. But the thing is, then they go their separate ways, and there's a big investigation to go about the kidnapping, and this bit here. I mean, this is. But the thing is, they really connect. This is Drew's point of view. This is Laurie's. Here you go. Wanting Drew was wrong. She had to convince herself of that, but she figured him all wrong. On the basis of the script she'd read, she assumed that he was one kind of man, turned out to be quite another. Even though the tales of his adventures hadn't been the macho bosun she would have expected. They had been told, often against himself, with a sense of wonder and understated, self-deprecating humour. He was an intelligent, healthy, well-built male with a nice body and a lovely mouth, and it was personally reasonable to want him in her bed. She was attracted to the man, not the celebrity, and spent 2 days together with Misty, somehow making it sort of a unit like a family. Yeah, and also there's a little subplot going on, okay, with Lark and Misty and her ex-husband, who's like a famous actor. And one thing I did like in this book is this is a book also, okay, which essentially Lark is be true now. She's a crappy mother. She likes about her kid was good when it was little and it's a prop. Now it's older, it's a bit more of a handful. So it ends with Lark's father, sorry, Missy's father getting in full custody, which I thought was a nice kind of take on this. It's isn't a book that starts at Christmas. It's a book that basically spans a year. Okay, it goes from Laurie or Christmas send off her stories, and then they're published, and then they kind of meet up again. They're not in a kind of the right place to kind of be together. It's a kind of book, but this bit here, like this is it. This is August. This is 8 months later. 8 months later. There you go. Laurie stood at the back of the marquee and held a scent of bruised grass, wet umbrellas, and new books. It was by no means one of the most biggest or oldest of the literary festivals of the summer, but saw a lot of prestige. She'd had lunch with some of the committee, a right honourable, two merchant bankers, and a sculptor who had known her mother in the dim and distant past, and wanted to hear all about what her parents were doing now. And an agent had been there as well. She hadn't got used to that sound of those words. Maybe she never would. Or she'd asked rather hesitantly if someone could get her tickets to the festival. Philip Pass had appeared within 48 hours, along with the invitation to lunch to reception tonight for new and aspiring authors. Everyone seemed amazingly gratified when she accepted. She already had a booking to speak at next year's festival. Yeah. Yeah. So a first book makes it big. Basically, it's like the overnight success. She thought she'd get a small publisher, and instead she gets the big literary house. Which, okay, fine, it's a fantasy book and all that kind of way. I love fantasy book, kind of them's a reason. However, as a book, Evonne Wareham, I gotta admit, because this is also a detective story too, because they're also investigating who kidnapped Drew to start with. At times, now I'm going to give an example of an author called Fiona Harper. Now, Fiona Harper made her bite in Mills and Boon novels. Now she's gone into more better stuff. And when I read her first books, I was telling they were Mills and Boon. I thought, my God, Mills and Boon have upped their game now. This is a really, really good book. And now she's gone into other publishing houses, and she can write what she wants to write. So she's gone from there to there. At times in this text, it's a simple kind of Christmas story about these two people, these two jaded souls who kind of need love. But at the same time, there were glimpses of better stuff out there. I sat there thinking, there was this bit, okay, the subplot between Drew and who committed the crime against him. I thought that was deliciously dark. I sat there thinking, maybe Evonne Wareham needs to kind of focus on crime instead. Crime and love, a bit more vast than chocolate. Yeah. So I enjoyed this book. I enjoyed the festive feel of it. I enjoyed the kind of element of who did kidnap Drew and start who kind of sabotaged the fake kidnapping for the real kidnapping. I liked the investigation. At the same time though, I really, really think that the author could push herself into a new direction, because I liked her style. I actually generally liked her literary style, and I think for a glorified novella, 244 pages, I think that she's got much better stuff out there. So I like the atmosphere. I like the thing is though is the kind of the class thing going on, because, and this kind of disappointed me in some respects, because the thing is about Laurie is Laurie came from privilege. Okay, her sister is an actress. Her ex-brother-in-law, is an actor. Even though at the time she is kind of down on her luck, you never get the feeling that she's poor, if you will. I mean, she makes these little fantasy stories, okay, for like her niece, and people say they're really, really good. She get them published, but I also found the process of her getting published was a bit too easy. She faced no rejection. She faced no setbacks. She literally wrote these stories, emailed them, and 8 months later, she's at a literary festival. That I found a little bit disconcerting. However, I really did like this book. So, I'm signing off here. Love you all, and bye now.